Welcome to our community forum, working together for the people of Wellingborough.
We do have a very basic agenda. It's nothing very complicated. We've already done the introductions. We tend to do that off camera. Then the main part of the meeting really is to try and share what you're doing, any events that we have. And then we have a little bit at the end where we're working together. The Zoom tends to go on for 40 minutes because I'm too cheap to pay $15.99 plus VAT. And then everybody that's in the Eco Hub then gets another, 20 minutes to have a cup of tea and a chat with each other at the end, which is quite pleasant. Why do we do all of this for? Well, we're trying to get everybody working together. The next part of the meeting is basically just telling us all about what we're doing. So who would like to go first? Are you going to defer to Joe, Heather? Because I think we introduced you first.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Well, if there's things that I don't know, she'll know them, but I don't know anything she doesn't, as far as I'm aware. Oh, except maybe one thing.
Oh, well.
Oh yes.
I'll tell you what, we've got to queue Joe up to go first then with that, because that's intriguing.
What's going on at Glamis Hall? Well, all our normal groups are continuing. We've managed to secure some additional funding to continue the mini mindfulness sessions, which are sessions that help children learn how to regulate their emotions, work together, and instead of going from 0 to 10, they can learn how to control their emotions. It was mainly primarily set up for children who hadn't experienced play schools during COVID, so they'd never learned to be around other children. But it's been extended for other age groups. So I'll have 2 new sessions of that starting. One will be a preschool session and one will be a school age session. I'm hoping to start them the end of April. We've still got theatre, dance, driving tests, bingo. I've now got singing for lung health on a Monday. That started this month. That's quite well attended. There's about 20 people already coming to that a week. I've got Zumba this evening, theatre rehearsals for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is the summer panto that's going on in June. Got no youth club this week or the next 2 weeks because of Easter. Football's on this week, not on this week because it's Good Friday, it's back following week on Friday. And line dancing will be next Friday because it's the first Friday of the month. This weekend we held a race night and we had about 70 people attend. Very good night, good laugh, food and drink, and it raised a nice little bit of money for us. We've done over £500 for the night. And there was a bingo on Sunday, which has raised some money for us as well. We've got coming up a car boot sale on the 13th of April. And then in May, we'll have our 70s disco.
Fabulous. The only thing I think you've missed out there was the indoor car boot sale. Did you say that?
Did I just say that was the 13th of April? I think I did.
She did? Okay. Well, there you go. I'll shut up.
What have I missed? I think I know what it is.
Oh, it's just the Glamis. That's what I was thinking about, but that's not till June, I don't think.
I was trying to guess there what you missed, so you covered it all anyway. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, Jonathan, you do your 2-hour tidy ups with the wombles and what have you. So we're hoping to do something similar, but sort of in and around the car parks and things at Glamis. So we're hoping, we haven't spoken to anyone about it yet, because we only decided the other weekend at a trustees meeting, so we haven't got that far. But we're hoping for some help from yourself and Freddie and what have you, the usual crew maybe, and some other people if we can get them.
Take it as read, as long as we're not doing something weird and wonderful, but I'm sure we'll be there.
It's the 21st, isn't it? I think.
That's
Remember,
I think it was the 21st.
21st of June. We can have a look at that. But yeah, if it doesn't sound like it's going to be the last or the second, so we should be all right.
No,
for
it's-
that.
It's
Might be
the first.
22nd.
I thought it was the first.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
matter. We'll yeah. We'll let you know,
Okay.
Jonathan, in very good time.
Oh, I get confused on sixpence, as you know. Right, I'm going to do something slightly unusual. We're going to flip-flop between sort of in here and on there. So I'm looking at you, Connie. Would you like to tell us all about the Hemingwell skills and a bit about your organisation?
Okay, so I'm part of the VCSE Assembly in Northamptonshire. I'm the lead for arts, culture and heritage. And somehow through that, I ended up doing some investigation on Hemingwell, actually, because the late David Lamb asked me to do it. That was over and above what we did. So we started out in Chrysalis looking at Queensway, Kingsway and Hemingwell. And I was looking to see what was available for the youngsters so that we could see, you know, what was missing and therefore try and do some reduction in crime, etc. And I found out that obviously Joe and the rest of you are doing a fantastic job in Queensway, but there's very little in Kingsway and there was nothing at all in Hemingwell. And I was asked by David to go and investigate further at Hemingwell because the Chrysalis project started because of the last knife crime in Hemingwell. And I went to the centre and I wrote a report on it. And then the last conversation I had with David, which was the 30th of November, he said when I come back from a trip abroad, we would get together. He wanted to do some more stuff with Hemingwell. And unfortunately, we've lost him in the meantime. So through the VCSE, Miranda Wixom, she's taken this on to deliver what David wanted. And so the VCSE is now working on this project. Sorry, I missed David quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I've done another 2 reports on the Hemingwell. I did it when he wrote to me and told me what his situation was. I came home from Madeira and met a lot of people around the county. The Children's Trust, North Hants, you name it, during the month of February. And luckily I was able to get a report out to David before he died and to Mary. And now we're at the next phase, which is bringing all the people around the county who might be able to identify, in the first instance, identify people within the community of Hemingwell that we can bring in to go on an operational board committee at Hemingwell to start getting it up and running. It's a real shame, but back in 2012, that centre was so good under Simon Trundle that it won the Queen's Award. And now when you look at it, because Simon left the county in 16 and then we COVID, whatever, there's 3 or 4 things going on in a week in there, and that's about it. Stop bringing in any income. And it's a fine building. It's got good walls, good roofs, good everything. So it's a good building, and yet it's not been used. And so often charitable organisations are desperate to find places. So this is an unusual circumstance that we have a place, but it's just not being used. So that's where we're starting. So we need to identify people within the community who will step up and help us, help themselves to look after the community centre. But the VCSE Assembly, each of the leads, well, some of them, have pledged to come in as a sort of a parallel partnership committee to support whoever steps up from the community. So we can help them do the bids and do strategy, whatever. And obviously we also need a new trustees. At the time that you got Glamis Hall, so Hemingwell was also supposed to get a community transfer of Hemingwell. That didn't happen. Number of reasons why not, which I won't.
Real Solutions had it when we took over.
They didn't know they had it.
Well, they did, because I had 2 meetings with them.
Well,
at least.
so that it was passed across to Goodwill, but it had been agreed that it would be passed to the community. And so we're now trying to get a lease from Goodwill. They've done all their side of it. And they've employed the solicitors. Everything has been drawn up since December. But one of the trustees has not signed the lease, and therefore we're held up in what we're doing. But we're now going to forge ahead and start planning, even though we can't apply for funding until we have the lease.
And when we opened, there was 2 guys at Goodwill Solutions.
Did everybody hear, Joe?
Sorry. It was when we took over the here, there was 2 guys at Goodwill Solutions that we have meetings with. That were
Graham
through-
Thompson and another
No,
Tomlinson.
no, Tony Nags and somebody else, because they were going to be running sessions down there on furniture making and helping people get jobs and everything.
No,
It's
they're no
never
longer.
happened.
Yeah, they're no longer involved. I think the person who wanted to do something for Goodwill
One of them
Solutions.
passed away.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the other one was the one that passed away was the one that was more interested
Driving the
in that
energy.
type of stuff. So that fell away, and then the next thing, the council ended up having it again. And sorry,
Mm.
they passed it over to Greatwell Homes, and Greatwell
Oh,
Homes
really?
didn't know they had it
No.
until 4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So in October, we Simon finally found out what had happened. He'd spent 2.5 years trying to find out why the community transfer hadn't occurred, and finally nailed it down in October, and then went straight to Greatwell Homes, and they said,
Yeah,
what?
no way they knew
What-
that.
oh,
God.
And so they immediately drew up, they pleaded with Simon. Simon said, I was obviously interested, and there was some interest in the place. And so they drew up the lease, but now we're waiting for a particular person to sign it.
Sounds like there's a lot going on. I
Mm.
know that the young lady behind the desk, on my hope, Casey,
Mm.
I did write a huge list of things that we could do with her. And I know you took, she suddenly like a warm room appeared. That was one of the things I suggested. So that
Can you
happened
send me a
quite quick.
copy of that?
Yeah. There's lots of things that we were talking about doing as
Mm.
like Wellingborough Eco Group, and then there's another member pioneer called Cat that wanted to do a couple of bits down there. So,
That'd be very interesting.
so I'll send you that. I'll take your details
Mm.
down afterwards. I won't spend the whole meeting talking
No.
about it, but or we can do it just after the Zoom guys have gone.
So it's a big project,
Mm.
but we need some help to do it, and the community definitely needs it.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to do it in 100 days.
Good. Right, I would suggest that somebody on Zoom, and possibly Jordan goes next because he's sitting there very patiently. We're going to save the best till last, Myrle.
Okay, so at the library at the minute, we do have a Easter tombola going on. So it's £1 for a strip of tickets. We have lots of prizes still going. What else have we got on?
Not much on over Easter.
No.
We've got our bit in the Swansgate.
Yes, we've got Swansgate. Going to be in Swansgate the 10th of April.
It's the Wednesday. Was it Wednesday the 11th? Wednesday the 10th, Wednesday the 11th.
Yeah.
The lunch and learn in the Swansgate.
Yeah, and then our big thing, which isn't for a while, be our 50th anniversary of our current location of the library, which is the 4th of July, which is more of a meet and open event kind of thing. What else did you say?
Invites to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, yeah, that, but not got much on at the minute.
I bet you've got loads on. You're the busiest place in the town.
Oh yes, yes. With our obviously children's groups, we've got all that still going.
Yeah, no, fabulous. Who's hiding?
It's me.
It's Laura.
It's Laura. Why are you hiding, Laura? You've got a bad hair day. No, not at all. Hello, Laura.
Because I knew you were here, that's why.
Is that right?
Because
She's
when these meetings are usually on a Friday, it's my day off. So Jordan will be coming to the meetings now. So Jordan will be taking this forwards. So I'm just hiding in the background as if I'm not here.
Well, you're there. So your lovely face, sir.
So here I am. Just to wish you a happy Easter, Jonathan.
Thank you, Laura. Always lovely to see you. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Jordan. Just as a sort of add to that is that the library do populate our calendar. I've got a login, Jordan, haven't you, for the Wellingborough organisation's calendar on our website.
You should do, yeah.
We normally add everything onto that. I'll tell everybody a bit more about that later. It seems remiss of me not to ask Lenny to go next because he's got the most paperwork on the desk, I think.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Lenny. I work for the Safer Communities team. We, the neighbourhood warden team, actually investigate low to medium level antisocial behaviour, but that is not our whole job role. Our job role actually changed about 3 years ago. We do investigate at low level to medium level antisocial behaviour, but the other thing that we do is we do a lot of engagement with schools in and around. Well, to be honest, we do it in Corby. I'll tell you the sort of stuff that we do, but we've been to schools in Wellingborough, Rushden, Thrapston. The sort of thing that we do is we do alcohol awareness, we do hate crime, we do healthy relationships, we do road safety, because we tend to do the 6 to 11 sort of 12-year-olds. There's probably other stuff that we do. We do litter picks within the schools as well. I think the issue that we've got, and they've got me to come here, is we do have a social media team, right? Here's 2 girls in the office, right? So when you say social media, they think there's thousands of you. But I think they've got me to come here is to say every quarter we do a thing like a quarterly newsletter that lets everybody know what the Safer Communities team has been up to in a 3-month period. But the problem with that is the vast majority of it is all stuff that's happening in Corby. Okay. Now, why I'm here is to let you know that if you've got any engagement, any events, anything that you want to shout about, because I think at the minute, Wellingborough's doing their little bit and they're sort of in their little bit. Thrapston's doing their little bit and it's in their little bit. Nobody outside of Wellingborough, Thrapston, wherever. There's an email address, the Safer Corby team. You can email them. You can even advertise stuff. You know, you were saying about the stuff that's happening in your library.
Yeah.
You can email them and that'll get that out all across East Northants. I think, no, sorry, North Northants. So it's getting that message out further than it's going at the minute.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
So what I'll do is with Jonathan, I've left a letter or a form that sort of tells you what we do in the Safer Communities team. But more importantly, I'll leave you some email addresses and office numbers.
Yeah.
So what was the other thing that we do? We do litter picks in schools. We go into schools. The antisocial behaviour, if you've got any antisocial behaviour that you think we would be interested in, by all means, I'll use the Safer Community email address, or you can phone the number that's on there.
Yeah.
I just think even though we're one big council, we still seem to be a bit isolated within ourselves. And like I say, who's to say that that couldn't be a newsletter for Thrapston, Wellingborough? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll leave this with everybody. So that's about it in a nutshell for me. I mean, does anybody need?
It's Harrison your chamber.
That's right, yeah, Harrison,
Harrison,
Will
Will.
Bolton, yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say that obviously the big thing that you guys are doing with the police, fire brigade, and of course Connie at the Hemmingwell Skills Centre is a big community tidy up next week on the Thursday. I think. What is it? The 4th, isn't it?
Right.
I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it. Not with those hands. Not with those hands. So is it the Thursday? It's the Friday, isn't it? Friday the 5th.
It's a Friday.
It's the Friday the 5th from 9 o'clock. The co-op have sponsored it quite a lot. And in fact,
Is it Friday?
pretty sure it's Friday. Pretty sure it's the 5th. I can find a poster for you. I posted about it actually the other day. I shall do that whilst I'm talking because I am a man who can do 2 things at once. Not very well, but there we go. Yeah, it's from 9 o'clock. We'll find out if it's the Friday. I'll confirm that in a second. And lots of community groups, including Wellingborough Eco Group, including the police, obviously the Hemingwell Skills Centre, massively supported by the co-op. I think we're spending about 75 quid on you. So that sounds like nothing, but actually when you get a third off your stuff, that's more like 100 quid. And you possibly got the opportunity to go down the co-op with Will next week just before it, because you're collecting loads of fruit and veg for the event as well. So you've got lots of treats already. So lovely event. Hopefully we can get a few people out and hopefully we can tidy up that estate, which is good.
They're doing a gathering waste today. They're going around picking up the big stuff.
Yes, that's why Caris and Danny can't be with us. So we had Danny and Caris on the last community forum. We have Lenny instead, so we've got a bonus. He come all the way up from...
Wouldn't that be something that you would get the social media at Corby to advertise for you, or
you'd have thought
promote?
so.
Event.
Yeah, sure event.
Streets event.
Yeah, so the
But that only but that depends on whether it's Caris and Will. Have they told us about it?
I can't read their minds, but they have told Great Wall Homes, who've shared it. They've obviously told me, I've shared it.
Okay.
They've told
said about here at the last community resilience.
exactly. Yeah, he's going everywhere. So I'm very surprised that he hasn't told you.
Well, I'm not saying that he hasn't. I'm just saying that he needs to if he hasn't. I'm just, do you know what I mean? I don't know because we haven't spoken to Will or Caris about it. See, this is what...
You're not all the same team?
We are the same team,
right?
but they're based in Wellingborough. We're based in Corby. Now,
Right.
if you have a look, because we know we've got a social media team, everything that we do in the community,
in the Corby area,
goes into that newsletter.
Yeah.
Now,
well, you'd have thought it would be in there, but it is being led by PC Danny, I think.
Yeah.
Caris and stuff are sort of tagging on and supporting, as we are with the co-op and as obviously other community groups like Wellingborough Eco Group are. So there you go. It's definitely Friday. I've just checked that, and I think you've just done the same, haven't you, Connie?
okay.
Well, dare I say it's
You're
definitely
probably right.
no, it's definitely Friday the 5th. And Myrle will back me up. So should we go with Myrle next? We've got about 5 minutes, Myrle. I know you like to talk. Oh, I forgot about you, Phil. Tell you what, we'll let the dynamic duo, Batman and Robin, go last. We'll let you go next, Mel. It seems fair.
Okay, I don't have a lot. I promise you I don't have a lot. I'll speak about what we're doing for that's starting in April. We've got a drumming workshop that's going to start at the Daylight Center for the clients there, and it's open to the public. So we've been trying to push it public-wise, and it starts on the 18th of April, a Thursday, from 1 to 2:30, and it will run every Thursday for 10 Thursdays. You don't have to be an experienced drummer. You don't even have to have a drum to come. So it's open. We've just started to push it and promote that for the 18th of April. And the other thing that we have starting in April also, well, obviously our Bob Club that happens in Hemingwell, it's breaking for Easter and then it will restart. I think it happens every Tuesday, whatever the second or the third Tuesday is in April, it will restart in Hemingwell, but that's up and running perfectly and sometimes overbooked. But we are going to, I think I mentioned this the last time, that we're looking to do one at Penrith Drive, the family center. So we're looking to do that starting the 29th of April, which is a Monday afternoon from 1:30 to 3 or 1:30 to 2:30. No, 1 to 2:30. Yeah, something like that. But it will be every Monday starting the 29th of April at the Penrith Drive. So that's for the under fours and their moms, dads, whoever is keeping them for that day and wants to bring them out to get a little bit of fun and play with them. Bob Club is happening at the Penrith Family Centre. The other thing that happens on a regular basis that is interesting is the youth forum group that we've put together. They did Fresh Fest in October last year, and they're looking to do something in October again this year, but they're now meeting the last Wednesday in every month, which is today. They're going to be meeting today. They meet at the library, and it's the name of the group is Canvas, and it's a clear canvas for them to create from. And it meets the last Wednesday in every month at the library from 5 o'clock. And there's also a little carrot that we dangle of free pizza at the end. And that's for 13 to 18-year-olds.
Oh, I won't be there. Thank you, Myrle.
Those are the main things that I wanted to let you all know about today.
Thank you very much. We've got 7.5 minutes to go. We can decide if we wanted to pay for this Zoom thingy. We could go to an hour, but I quite like the fact it's fairly short and sharp, this. Phil, have you got anything to say? What would you like to say?
Yeah, just a bit of background of exactly my role within the community. Wincanton as a company have 1 million hours every year to spend on local charities to the whole of the UK. And obviously part of that is obviously allocated to the Wellingborough depot, which is on Park Farm. And also we work very, very closely with Jonathan and the local pioneers. And the 4 stores that we cover are the 2 in Wellingborough, Rushden, also Higham as well. The general manager, James Wright, is very, very keen to support the local community. And we have hours available, and he's very keen for the workforce. We've had a lot of enthusiasm from the drivers, also from the colleagues who work in the warehouse to work in the local community. We're also collecting various things like books for the Higham Community Library, and the process of doing that. And also what we try to do is support the eco hub with food and products which we get from the warehouse, which are no longer required. We bring it down here as well. We also support the Wombles, don't we?
We do the Wombles.
Yeah.
We do everything.
So what I tend to do is that I spend on the Wednesday with Jonathan working with all the local charities which we work with. At the moment we've got a very high focus on the Daylight Centre and their allotment over in Wollaston, and we supply them a couple of pallets of compost, and we've got some wood and various other things going down there as well. So there is the manpower available, and so if you need anything regarding manpower, you come through Jonathan myself, we may be able to support you.
Okay, well done, Phil. That was short and sweet. I'm just replying to Heather, but I might as well just say it now that sort of I've tapped it, but there we go. We normally just log out of Zoom, but we can dial back in if you want, because we'll be here for another 20 minutes. I've still got to just say briefly what the Eco Group do. I'll put my other hat on, and also about a new forum that we're going to have in Higham and Rushden. So there's something else to join in with. If obviously like Lenny will be covering that area, might be interested in joining in. Touching on what the Eco Group do, we're in the Eco Hub. It's a very busy place. It was hectic yesterday. I know Jo sits there looking at us on her camera. And the only reason why I know that is because I tried to put something back up in the top corner, and she showed I had a full facial like right in the camera, so I made her jump. But yeah, Tuesday's busiest day, swap shop, food sharers, Tuesday tidy ups, and our famous happy cafes. Those will be continuing after the winter warm space, which is due to end at the end of March. Wednesdays and Thursdays we have a Polish community group. Not this week, it's every fortnight. Lovely group. They have some big events in Glamis Hall, really impressive one. Looked like there was about 100 people there. Sounded like there was about 1,000. We had a massive weekend just gone. We had a pop-up repair cafe in the Swansgate, which loads of people came to, including the MP. We had Great British Spring Clean, as Lenny was talking about, with the town council and Wellingborough on the Saturday. Again, we were very lucky to have the MP turn up there as well, which is we've got like by royal appointment now. I have to put that on the bottom of the card. And on Saturday, we planted 420 trees, which is on top of the 420 trees we planted the weekend before with Up To You Youth Club, and on top of the 300 we planted in December at the same location that we planted on Sunday. So we're quite busy. This weekend we've got Good Friday, we've got an Easter egg hunt. We've actually got the real Easter Bunny coming. Don't care what anybody says, she is the real Easter Bunny. That's 12 till 3. We're supporting Louisa, Miss Team Northamptonshire, at the museum with a game stall on Saturday. That's 11 till 3. And then we're at Animals in Need Spring Fair on the Sunday. So Easter Sunday, yes, I must be insane. 12 till 4, we'll be there with a version of our swap shop as we do. We are going to run out of time in about 3 minutes. I will sort of, when it goes, I'll log back in, but obviously that bit won't be recorded. I just want to show you something which I think you probably saw a minute ago anyway. So this is our new forum in Rushden and Higham Ferrers. I've just been designing the poster. I've just got a new website. Well, I haven't built it yet, but we've got the domain name, which is rushdenhigham.org.uk. We have a brand new Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Rushden and Higham. You can see there's a bit of theme going here. And the community forum is all about connecting the connectors. So if you think you're somebody who connects people in Rushden and Higham or further afield, do join us. It's in association with Rushden Town Council and Higham Ferrers Town Council. We've been planning it for what is a couple of weeks now. Actually a couple of months, sorry, things do just disappears time, doesn't it? But there we go. And that may not be the final poster, but I think it's quite cheery. So I don't know if whatever anybody thinks. I've tried to make it sort of catch the eye, as do most of my posters. And believe it or not, the Zoom, whatever it's called, QR code does work. Well, it would work if I built the website. The only other thing, let's try and get out of that if I can, is, of course, if you go to wellingborough.org, we do have a calendar for Wellingborough. Joe from Glamis Hall has given us a lot of stuff to go on there. The library, like I say, put their stuff on there themselves. Wellingborough Eco Group have filled it up too. And there's something from the Victoria Centre on there as well. But obviously, when the Hemmingwell Skills Centre gets up and running, we'd love to share your details, Connie, and try and promote. And I know, for instance, the library at their information desk do sometimes refer to it when they're asked what's going on in Wellingborough, because it's just basic. You just click on it and it comes up.
So thank you for joining our community forum. I hope you've enjoyed what everybody's had to say. We'll see you next month.